Like we do all the time, Wednesday night. My man, Denny Blanco, how you doing?
I'm excited, man. How you doing today, Randy? What's going on?
I'm doing good, man. It's a lot going on. NBA preseason starts tomorrow. We got the MLB playoffs in the background. We got WNBA finals up and coming this Friday, and the W has been in the news the last couple of days. Matter of fact, yesterday. And that's why we have a man, Robin Lundberg, on the show at Robin Lundberg, as Sir Denis Blanco on all social media platforms. Myself at Rainy J Cruz, RENDY. Letter J C R U Z. Fund the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. And most importantly, go to youtube.com/cruise control podcast. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for your boys on the program. So, Robin, you've been a champion of women's basketball last couple of years, covering the W, and it seems yesterday was a very historic day for the league. Um, Napheesa Collier expressing her thoughts about the commissioner, Cathy Engelbert,
Mhm.
and she just let off, in wrestling terms, like a CM Punk pipe bomb on just boom on the entire industry. And then, like, boom, the mic dropped, and she said a lot of things. And the commissioner responded, if you want to count that as a response. It was just a lot. I'm paraphrasing, but let's talk about what happened yesterday. You covered it right afterwards. What was your take on her comments about the WNBA?
Well, look, there's a lot to get into, and the WNBA is never lacking in drama.
Mm-hmm.
It is,
Yeah, yeah.
it is a bit of a soap opera at times, but so a couple of things are happening at once here, right?
Mm.
So one is the CBA negotiations are coming up. So that's like the subplot behind all of this is the players and the league are in the midst of these heated negotiations. The players want more money. We'll see how that plays out. But that's like the subtext to everything, right? So you got that aspect of it. You also have the fact that Napheesa Collier suffered an injury in the playoffs. I didn't think that was a dirty play or even necessarily a foul, but it felt like the tipping point moment when Cheryl Reeves saw her go down and hurt for the cumulative aspect of the physical play that has taken place in the league that is allowed to fester and has almost been presented as a badge of honor by the league. So Reeve calls that out, which leads to Napheesa then calling it out. So you have that crescendo of that being called out, including by Becky Hammon and Stephanie White, and so on and so forth. On top of that, you have Fee being a co-owner of Unrivaled, which is the league that takes place in the offseason. And if you look at the CBA negotiations, which I just mentioned, there is a conflict of interest, if you want to put it there, where the more the WNBA pays the players, probably the less likely they're going to want them to play in the offseason. At the same time, Unrivaled has set up this infrastructure, has a lot of the top players in it, and Fee is invested there and is also figured out how to assume a leadership role in that sense. So she knew how to present her points. And then the final thing is she dropped the Caitlin Clark bomb, because for everything else you want to say, that is still the name that has put us in the position that we're in today. Even though, it's funny because she hasn't played in months, but as soon as she's involved back in the action, like everything pops, because I have to imagine that was a purposeful anecdote from Fee. And if Cathy Engelbert did indeed say that, that Caitlin should be grateful to the WNBA that she has the endorsements, it's one of the most out-of-pocket statements one could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Because if we're, there's no other way to put it, Caitlin Clark brought the platform to the WNBA that we are witnessing today.
So a few things before Denny chimes in. You mentioned the injury. It came down today that she suffered a grade 2 tear of 3 ligaments in her left ankle and a muscle in her shin during that collision with Alyssa Thomas. So looking like a 6-week maybe recovery for her. So listen, I'll be tight too. That I'm trying to get my first ever WNBA championship, and then like I'm right there, number 1 seed, all that, and then boom, I get hit And the referees, even in the NBA, said that was not a foul because the steal occurred prior to the contact. I mean, but you're a competitor. You're gonna feel a certain way, like yeah, I did get fouled or whatever. It's a pivotal game, playoff game 3, and then she was no longer available for game 4, and the remainder of the series, which now hinders back-to-back years where they could have been winning the championship, and now she has to wait one more year. Before Denny chimes in, I just want to say that we got I think it's the response that the commish gave. Like, it just totally, and goes to Fee's point about being tone deaf. Like, you're not even recognizing, you're not even saying, you're not even denying that those conversations even took place, because if they did not take place or those words got misconstrued, somebody would have said, listen, I said this, I did not say that. But she said, yeah, we had conversations, but you know what, my main goal is to do this. And like, you just totally brushed that over. Like, yeah, we had the convo, but you know what, I'm still here and do my job. And now you got people across the world, across the media, saying that she's got to go, she's got to resign. So it's a weird. And the finals are Friday, so she's gonna she's gonna appear to the crowd.
She's speaking before the game 1 on Friday.
She's speaking on ESPN.
She's speaking at she does, the commissioner always does a press conference at the finals. She did that at the All-Star game. She's going to do a press conference an hour before game 1, which is going to have more buzz than the entire final series.
Yeah, exactly.
Then a lot of people will be watching. Once again, Robin Lundberg, we thank you so much for actually coming and being our guest tonight. Randy J. Cruz, It's in the Game podcast. Quick question, just for educational purposes. Randy, Robin, in terms of the Unrivaled League, right? Mm-hmm. You know what the average pay of the Unrivaled League is for that league? The average pay?
Yeah, it's like $225,000.
The average WNBA pay is $130,000. That's interesting education in my research that I'm doing here. And I say
so you get paid more from Unrivaled than the league that you play in.
And it's shorter, and they have ownership stake. And then, like in cushy locale in Miami.
Yes, Robin, say that one more time, please. Slowly. Say that again.
The season is a lot shorter. They have ownership stake, and they're all sequestered in these state-of-the-art facilities in Unrivaled in Miami.
So before I ask my question, land the plane. Before I ask my question, and I think about Diana Taurasi and how she had to go out of the country to make money. And I think about Brittany Griner having to go out to make money. Understand? So I asked, do you think it's leverage, her actually being the owner of this league and then being able to say what she said and actually be the player that she is, being able to say what she said, make that statement?
Yeah, it's both leverage and a conflict of interest. It's both. It's leverage in the sense that they have a competing product. They have all the players signed up. She has the power and the authority that she's been able to, along with her husband and Breanna Stewart and the investors, raise enough capital to get this league viable, get its television deals. So she knows what she's doing, right? So that is leverage, depending on, we could get back to Clark in a second, but she's always the biggest domino that could fall at any time. But that is leverage. It's also a conflict of interest, because if you're Fee and Stewie in CBA negotiations, and let's say the WNBA goes, all right, we're going to raise all the number that was thrown out was like 4 times. But in order to raise all your salaries 4 times, we don't want you playing in off-season leagues. Is Fee going to say, no, we're folding Unrivaled after she just went to all these investors to get all these millions of dollars brought into the league? So it is both leverage and a conflict of interest, which is what makes it sort of fascinating to see how it plays out, because the Unrivaled season could be taking place, if they don't reach an agreement quickly, in the midst of a stalled CBA negotiation.
Do you think the people at the W, I'm asking because I really don't know, do you think the people at the W were not much fans that Unrivaled began, because they feel like now it's another competitor, even though it's during the off season, but it's looking like a second league like that could eventually be a competitor of ours?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't act. They acted supportive at first, but maybe so. And look, let's not act like, the WNBA is kind of brand new. It's not brand new in the sense that it's been around a long time, but it's brand new in the sense that we're talking about it. And people are talking about it, and it's getting covered on, Stephen A. Smith would not be giving his take on the WNBA commissioner 2 years ago, right? Like, it just wouldn't be. We would not be, and this is with all due respect to Fee, who is a terrific player, like a terrific player, but nobody would be talking about Napheesa Collier 2 years ago. Or they quit, because you go back and, the WNBA has been put into the zeitgeist since, the girl from Iowa showed up. And that is part of what we're dealing with here, which means it doesn't actually have all that much authority. It's not like, oh my God, it's the WNBA, right? Like you just see you see NBA at the end of it, and that's where it gets a lot of the power because of the association with the NBA. But there's been a lot of resentment that's built up because a lot of fans, this is part of it too, a lot of fans who came in have felt like they've been spit on, right? Like they came in because it doesn't matter how you get your consumer. Like who gives, you want to hold them and you want them to feel appreciated. But there were a lot of fans who came in last year and they were told like they suck. They have to like bow at the altar of somebody who played in 1997 in order to get their badge to watch the league play. What they were saying is crazy. They were disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. And what's kind of funny about it is a lot of what was said last year. Now, it was specifically focused on Clark last year, but now it's focused on the entire league, and it's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of too much physicality, too much all this. So they feel vindicated in that sense, but then they hear the commissioner saying Caitlin Clark should feel grateful to be here. There are these fans who came in and said, like, they wanted to come in. They wanted to love the league. They wanted to, and many of them have, and support the other team. But they haven't exactly been welcomed with open arms.
Nope.
Which is not the way that you should go about it. You should be like, come on, let's go.
Exactly. Embrace it. Embrace it. No, and then if you look back, I was going on the rabbit hole of YouTube, and even during you go back to the All-Star game, and everybody wearing, pay us what what we owe or what we are owed, and then even like in the press conference, not even the post game interview with Napheesa, like she sees the commission there, and she's giving like these 2-3 word answers, like I'm getting out of here. I don't even want to be around here. The game is done. Be good, great basketball, but like I ain't trying to be around. I mean, that's what I was now outside looking in, like, damn, she ain't even trying to be here next to her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you saw all the support for Fee too. I mean, it came out in droves.
Oh yeah,
very quickly. I don't think I've ever seen a player in a pro sports league go at the head of the commissioner like that, especially a player of her caliber, and then see everybody, sort of like, so it'll be interesting. The Fever have their exit interviews tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see what is said there, because Caitlin will be speaking tomorrow. So for the first time since the All-Star weekend, since that, what you were just referencing. So that will be interesting to hear as well. And just like, it just feels like, they weren't ready for prime time in a lot of ways. And even, even like the way, even some of the nonsense stuff, right? Like you guys know me, we covered the NBA, you snap, you joke, whatever. In the WNBA, all of a sudden, like somebody offers a civic complaint because you root for a player or whatever. I mean, I go back to the first game of the season where I was at the Fever and Sky game with the Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark snafu, and I could fast forward that in my head. I saw that happening. I'm like, well, here comes the next 2 weeks of takes, right? Like,
oh boy,
see that happening, but I was in there and it felt like the most normal ass sporting environment you could ever, they're cheering, they boo the other team, whatever. I land on the other side on the plane and I get an email that says, the WNBA is investigating these incidents that was said. And I'm like, I really hope they're not investigating somebody on what somebody on Twitter said. Right.
Yeah.
Like, and you never know, like, somebody could always say something. We can't hear and see everything. But I had seen that the drumbeat had all been caused by social media. And a curious league doesn't announce that it's conducting an investigation about something and then come back like, oh, yeah, we found nothing, because you can conduct the investigate whatever the hell you want.
Exactly.
Don't come out and announce it based on what some rando on Twitter said.
Yeah.
And then you have the players having to sit there and answer questions about racist fans who didn't exist.
Exactly. Waterfall, thank you for watching. Officiating has been a problem even before Caitlin Clark and some of the new people that came into the league were causing problems. Fan bases are going to cheer for their players. Before Dennis goes next, is it something about the timing Napheesa picked? I think this obviously Shane just get up and you know what? Let me get this pen and paper and then write everything down. This has had to be going on for quite some time, and like we said, it's right before the finals. And do you think it was something calculated on the timing of what she wanted to say?
Well, I mean, it was her exit interview, right? It was her last chance to say something. So she didn't say it in the post-game press conference while they were still playing. It was when their season is over. So
yeah,
it made sense in that regard. I would say sunlight is the best disinfectant, right? Yeah, no one's saying there weren't officiating problems before Caitlin Clark, but everybody saw them because of Caitlin Clark. And now everybody's talking about them, and it's not about just Caitlin Clark. It's Kelsey Plum and Becky Hammond and Stephanie White and Natalie Nakase and so on. It like everybody everybody is saying the same thing. And I don't buy the new people coming in causing problems. I mean, there's this weird people cheer for LeBron. They cheer for Steph. No one goes like, "Why are you cheering for LeBron and not the entire league?" Like,
exactly.
I don't give a shit. Like,
period. Right. 100%.
Then you go ahead.
Let me read something real
quick.
Look
at Robin's face, all red.
Yeah, he's going off, man. He's going off. We got Robin riled up. That's what we like. We like the Robin riled up. That's the Robin we like. Riled up. Thank you for pressing that button, Randy. I appreciate you. Let me read something real quick. The NBA CBA expires. The WNBA CBA expires at the end of the season. So such an exit would mean that this would be Engelbert's final season as commissioner. One of SBJ's sources did not paint her current situation in a good light. Quote, she hasn't connected. She's not a relationship builder, which you have to be in that job with the teams, with the players. I think she's a wicked smart business person, and the success she gets a lot of credit for. But a commissioner has to have personality, element that you can touch every constituent that they have. I think she's just lacking in it. I say all that to say, would you expect her to be back after this particular bargaining agreement?
I mean, it's hard to say yes right now. The other aspect of this is like, how often have we seen a commissioner just kind of removed and their head on a stick? But then again, how often have we seen a player come out the way Napheesa Collier came out? So, and just like I think Sophie Cunningham said it in the comments section of an Instagram post, everybody just found out who Cathy Engelbert was last year too. Like, it went like you had gone around to random people and you play like, guess who the WNBA commissioner is? in 2023.
That's bad.
Nobody would know what the hell you were talking about.
That's bad.
And now like they do know her and they know her for this, and she's getting put on blast. So I think she has a lot of work and massaging to do if she wants to come back. Now, what she can hang her hat on is that they have seen this growth and this success. It just, the way her comment and the tone came across, it's as if like, she's looking for the credit for it or trying to keep it from the players, because the other trickle-down effect of everything that I just talked about, as much as Clark rightfully gets the credit for it, it has now become a thing where, Paige is a household name, and Angel is a household name, and Fee is known by more people, and Asia is known by more people. And there are just so many more people that you can rattle off who are now the product and who are what matter and who are what is important, kind of like you would say in the NBA. And obviously they don't, the numbers don't work to make it NBA numbers or anything like that. But at the same time, they clearly and obviously deserve a massive bump from what the current circumstances are. And, it's not because of just the WNBA and the commissioner of the WNBA. There is no WNBA without the players on the floor.
Facts.
What's easier to solve, Robin? The officiating or the pay dispute?
Well, the officiating is you know, it's like it's not really fair to the refs sometimes, because some of this is what's, you know, it's not just like they're out there making blunders all the time. It's how this is what they're complaining about, consistency and how it's called, and I think that comes from the top. The pay, look, in every negotiation, that's the number one thing, right? Like, what do you? It's like the pay and the term. That's how every negotiation goes. Once the pay and the term are agreed to, the rest of it falls into place. You just kind of check the boxes. So I think the real sticking point isn't even salaries as much as the rev share and the piece of the pie that the players get. And this is such a big moment because it did all change. Like, it hasn't come in yet, but they did get that new media rights deal, which is at least 3x of what they were getting before. You know, all these things, all the new teams are coming in now, right? Like the growth period is now. It's not like instantaneous. The seeds get planted and then it grows. So that, you know, that's going to be a contentious back and forth for sure. I can't imagine either side could be so foolish to not figure it out, given, you know, unless they're going to just up and make unrivaled the new WNBA or start a new league, you know, on their own. You got to figure this out. And otherwise, you know, like it's an epic facepalm.
To land the plane, media rights, $200 million next year. They're supposed to expand to what, 18, if I'm not mistaken, 18 teams by 2030. So they're not playing any games with their expansion, and the game is going to keep getting better and better. The value and the entertainment value is going to always keep getting better and better. Randy, talk to me.
And that's why when I mentioned earlier about timing is everything, because, you know, again, it was a long day yesterday. So it started with, again, I don't know if this is what you just mentioned, Dennis, but the W announced the 11-year deal with USA Network. So Napheesa probably like, oh, okay, I bet. Million. That means y'all getting some bread, right? And y'all gonna put 50 games or more, playoff, regular season, maybe finals. Like, oh, I bet 11-year deal. There's revenue coming in. So now it's like, I bet. Where's our money coming? When is our money coming? So again, it could be timing. It could be like, new USA deal. It's my exit interview. I'm tight. I'm frustrated. I'm injured, and I'm just gonna go straight Nas ether on everybody, and then like see how the chips fall, because I think the outpouring of support was like, I've never, like Robin said, I've never seen someone who was top 5 in their sport come down and say, you know what, this is bugged out. Yeah, like you never see LeBron talk about Adam Silver or like Iverson on.
We have the worst leadership in the world.
What kind of fine is that? What kind of fine is that, Robin? What kind of fine is that? Talk to me.
I mean, they gave Cheryl Reeve $15,000, right? Like when she came out and said, what did she say? It was fucking malpractice for them to have the refs that they had on there. And
but then they fined the other coaches for supporting her. So I'm like, what are you doing?
They find them $1,000 each. Yeah.
Oh, Becky Hammond laughed at those pennies. Becky Hammond laughed at those pennies.
1,000. Here you go, man. Here you go.
You mentioned,
but,
Caitlin. Okay,
hold on. But her, like, to your question, the fine for Napheesa, that's got to be.
Yeah, what's the fine looking like? That's what I was going to ask. What's the fine looking like? You
50 racks.
I feel like you might hold the fine here because of what Napheesa specifically said, and then all of a sudden, then you get. It'll be interesting to see what she says Friday, but I don't know if it's tactically advisable to drop a big fine right now after that.
And I think that's why, to her response, which we all would have preferred, hey, you know, more detailed, or whether a denial or that's the truth, but like taking, listen, I'm not defending her. She took the high road and just like, you know what, you got it. And like Robin said, she may not even pull out the fine, because that's going to add more to the shit. Like, I told the world the truth of what you said. They ain't going to double down, fine me. You don't even deny what you're saying. So I think it might be like one hand wash the other, we good, and then we go separate ways or whatever. But I think she might hold the fine. She might.
I got a question, Robin. One last question about Caitlin Clark. it was interesting when, Fee mentioned, that whether she's interesting. She said, mentioned Caitlin Clark saying how she made money off the court. I'm paraphrasing, and obviously Engelbert said that was a mischaracterization. Do you think that was in terms of making money off the court? Was that just a leverage play to say what she said in terms of Engelbert?
Well,
Why would she say something like that?
She knows she's kind of weaponizing Caitlin Clark's fan base too.
Right.
They've already felt aggrieved. A lot of Caitlin Clark's fan base have felt disrespected by unwelcome, like I said, by the WNBA gatekeepers, if you will. And you have to remember, Caitlin Clark came in the door before she played a single game in the pros. She had a $28 million Nike deal, which there's never been a precedent for that in the women's game. Not to mention, you go back, she was playing at football stadiums, exhibition in football stadiums in college. The national championship game between Iowa and South Carolina was watched by 19 million people. That is like 4 or 5 times the highest rated WNBA game ever. That is crushing NBA finals. That's 2 times the NBA finals numbers. That is more than the men did in the NCAA tournament that year. So, Michael, Magic, and Bird all rolled in one. That's what you had come in the door. And for whatever reason, and it wasn't all true. It's not all true. And not everybody hated her, and not everybody resented her, and not everybody was out to get her, blah, 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 blah. But some of it was true.
Yeah.
You saw a team owner say they should put the whole league on the cover. You saw a lot of what actually, was resentment or whatever for what she brought in, rather than be like, bet.
I bet.
Bet. All right. Bet.
I mean, also the fact that when she said, "Oh, she should be thanking her lucky stars," I'm like, hypothetically, you have Indiana Fever and a healthy Clark in the finals beginning Friday. You know how many people are watching that shit?
I remember last year, dude, because I was covering this heavy, and I remember the NFL season started. I was telling you, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, bro. This is a different sort of thing. I ain't never, just their juice. You can't. What's the it factor, right? Like, people always say, you can't really. Everybody's always trying to look. They're doing their thesis papers on why. But Caitlin Clark blew up in 2022, a game against Michigan. It just went her highlights went super viral. There's just something about her game that brought in. You ever see the Bill Burr bit where he was saying WNBA fans, they want us to support you too. You got to do it. It actually happened where the dudes were like, all right, I'm in. The NBA fans, the college fan, whatever there was just a lot of people that weren't. One of the I wish I remember her name right now, but she said it perfectly after Caitlin Clark broke Pete Maravich's record. You made it so there's just basketball fans. They're not thinking women's basketball, men's basketball. They're just basketball fans. So who cares what she looks like? Who cares where she came from? Who cares about it? Wasn't until she got to the WNBA and all of that media attention that all that stuff started to come. No one was talking about that when she was blowing up on the scene. It's just these weird dynamics that existed within the legacy media and the coverage of the league. And it just, I don't know, for whatever reason, it wasn't met with the open arms that it should have been. Instead of you will close the garage door. You got to put the passcode in to come in.
And she might have unintentionally brought together Clark fans and Angel Reese fans all one day. Oh shit, you know what? You're right. No, you're right. Yeah. We ain't getting no. I'm like, oh shit. So tomorrow is their exit interview, right? Fever?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think Clark? What kind of response are we gonna get? Are we getting the generic, whatever, or you might not saying go Napheesa, but at least give some inclination about what the commissioner said? How do you think she should play it out?
Well, look, she has a lot of power. She doesn't tend to rock the boat. That's just not seems like she's not. I've never been like, I can't wait to see the Caitlin Clark interview. Like I want to see the Caitlin Clark game. I don't want to see the Caitlin Clark interview. You know,
but should she rock the boat
I think
a little
yes.
bit?
I think she should. You know, look, they wear those "Pay us what you owe" shirts. They could have said "Pay us what you owe her." she come out. Yeah, I mean, she has the gravitas to really shake the room. I mean, I don't think she should have spoke yesterday because then it would have taken the thunder out of Fee's message. But now that you have had a day or so to pass, yeah, I mean, I think she should be diplomatic but honest, and she can, you know, in a matter of words, make a lot of things happen. We haven't heard from, you know, she has a lot to address because the injury situation was so mysterious, and then there's this. Then there's like, will she play in the offseason? Would she consider unrivaled? But if anybody has the power to get the commission out the door, I mean, look at the way every other league treats her. Like, you know, MLB is like, come announce a game. The PGA is like, golf for us.
Yeah. the big three offer her a lot of money.
So everybody but the league she plays in. So she
that's crazy.
Maybe she should lean into her villain arc a little bit more, or, you know, wield that authority.
Yeah. Denny.
Man, listen, we covered a lot. I don't even know if we're gonna even have a situation where, do you even think there would be a strike if the money's not right? Do you think it'll ever be a strike in WNBA?
Maybe.
I mean, it's definitely on the table, strike or a lockout. Which are two sides, the same thing. It's just kind of semantics. Lockout just means the owners lock them out because there's no CBA. Strike means the players walk out and won't perform, but they're really two sides of the same thing. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a chance of it. Probably a pretty strong chance of it. But again, you have to hope cooler heads. Sometimes, like, you got to let the ego out the room a little bit, because this is it. Like, this is the moment, you know, mom's spaghetti and everything. You have to capitalize on it right now, because you're not going to get this sort of supernova explosion thing again. You know, that's the reason. The reason is there's strife is that there's more to go around now.
Yeah.
Are we to imagine that this, at the bargaining table, on one side is Fee, Brianna, and then on the other side is Engelbert and the WNBA? This is what's going to happen in a couple of weeks, months, etc.
Neko Gumake is actually the president of the Players Association, but yes, they are part of the reps, Stewie and Collier, which again I think is a legitimate, like, they know what they're doing, but it's also kind of a conflict of interest, given that they run unrivaled. It's
a fascinating story all around, Randy and Robin. Fascinating story.
I mean, I like Unrivaled. I think it's coming back again, right? Am I bugging? Okay, good. Yeah, so this year is gonna be a very high profile. Hey, I mean, listen, could Caitlin be involved to kind of stick it to the W? Sure. I mean, but that tweet of saying she's unrivaled, if it comes out, it's gonna be like, oh shit, like.
I mean, that would be the real power play. If they were now,
if she plays in Unrivaled.
Yeah. As far as what it would what it would, the power that it would give that league and that authority, it's because they've already done a good job without Caitlin. In fact, they've done an amazing job without Caitlin as far as getting the investment and getting the TV deals and getting everything else. But yeah, I mean, that's the big joker.
But you know what's crazy too? Again, I go back to the quote, "Oh, thank a lucky stars," right? Weren't y'all the ones who changed the first round format because of her? Because she did not play a home game last year in the playoffs?
I mean,
am I right?
Yeah, like all
that's what I'm saying. You can't be saying thank lucky stars and you changing the rules of the playoff format because of her.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. Bro. We have the leverage. We're the shield. Nobody's bigger than the shield. All right. But you keep saying that. We keep hearing that in different sports, which is very interesting, Robin. We keep hearing that no one's bigger than the Shield, but then
it's true in the NFL.
Wait. Let's take a minute. Let's take a minute to go through that now. Now, NBA, no one's bigger than the Shield, and then Michael Jordan came along. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, WNBA. A lot of people could say Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark is bigger than the WNBA. It's not even.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Robin. Now, NFL. Go to NFL now.
NFL's different. NFL can put the Texans and the Cardinals on Amazon Prime and make subscribe to it.
From London, from Germany, and you still watching at 9:00 in the morning.
And remember Tom Brady? You remember Tom Brady? Nobody missed Tom Brady.
Was Tom Brady at one point bigger than the Shield? No, never. No one's bigger than the Shield except but I guess that's because of obviously. I guess it's a smaller group of players when you think of basketball. So I guess you can single out one player versus.
It's just the nature of the sport. I think it's been almost become like a religion. It's on Sundays, the gambling. I don't know, but for whatever reason, because think about it like this in the NBA. If you said you had to go play in Green Bay, it's like a death sentence. We talk about how dare if Green Bay was in the NBA Finals, people say no one's watching. Like they did it with Oklahoma City and Indiana.
Yeah,
but you got Green Bay and Pittsburgh and all these podunk places are huge heritage markets in the NFL. Nobody gives a crap.
That's crazy.
Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's right. I mean, Robin, I don't know if you know, but there's a WNBA Finals going on Friday. I mean, it's a lot going on. Phoenix and Las Vegas. Vegas, their third appearance in 4 years. Who we got? Vegas or Phoenix?
Phoenix.
Oh,
yeah. I don't think the Aces are very good. So the Aces is basically it's Asia Wilson and Jackie Young. Jackie Young's awesome, by the way. I love her.
Yes.
All around game, great player. Chelsea Gray's still a solid player, does what she does. But that's Melissa Smith, sort of a cast off from other places. She's revitalized herself a little bit, but a lot of flaws in her game. Doesn't make the best decisions on the floor. Doesn't get up and down the floor that great. Doesn't defend that well on the block. They're starting a player in Kirsten Bell who plays 5 minutes and then gets pulled for somebody else. The Aces are not very deep. Kelsey Plum's not there anymore. I think the Mercury shoot the ball better. They got Copper and Satu Sabali and Alyssa Thomas and Sammy Whitcomb. And I just think they're a little bit deeper and can shoot the ball a little bit better. So I would actually go with the Mercury. I think the Aces are very, very dependent on Asia and Jackie.
And the first time ever would go into a 7-game series. So that should be kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's way. Look, the first round being 3-game series was kind of abrupt, but there's a little intrigue to that too. But yeah, I mean, this is another reason they're capital. It's all. You think all these changes happened from last year to this year for no reason? It's a coincidence, right? All because of Cathy Engelbert.
That's it. Denny Blanco, what you got before we hold up? You forgot. Oh, you forgot Bonner.
Yeah, she's not that good though. I mean, Bonner's a little washed.
I mean, she's a vet. She's a vet.
Yeah, I forgot in the WNBA you're not allowed to say anything critical about a vet. Bonner's a little washed. She can defend.
Yeah, I think
Bonner
Robin
is a good defensive matchup for Asia, actually, because Asia ain't that brolic, and Bonner's long, so she can give her some problems in that regard. And then every now and again she'll rediscover it, like she did in the deciding game against the Lynx, and get on a heater. But Bonner is more along for the ride than a big part of the Mercury.
The coaching, Mercury or Vegas?
I think it's pretty even. I mean, Becky Hammon's one of the best coaches ever, obviously, given what she's done. But Tippett's, the Fever did put his other comment on the Fever miss Bonner. The Fever sucked.
He calling you out, Robin. Calling you out. Bonner hide his head.
Took her job. And then she quit the team. So
that's a fact. She wanted out. She wanted out.
I mean, no. I'm not afraid to tell the truth. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Tippett's coming. He's If you go back and watch a clip from earlier in the year, he called the long twos the manure strip, basically, saying he wants layups and threes. So he's a very NBA kind of coach.
Okay. All right. Danny Blanco, what you got?
Well, listen, I asked all I needed to ask in terms of this story when it comes to the Fee Collier statement. CBA, we covered that. We covered, pay disputes, officiating, lack of accountability. It seems that the Engelbert, that's what was a big statement in terms of what Fee said, lack of accountability. I don't think, probably my last question, well, it's a statement in terms of question, but the other thing is, I don't think she mentioned racism in there. I don't think you're going to solve that in terms of the social media. That's out of everyone's control. You can't. There's nothing you can do with that. You just got to mind your business, put your head down, and play your game.
Yeah, imagine if we were going into LeBron's mentions and and pulling them or stab or anything. That's no one says that's cool. Like, people shouldn't act like dicks, and whether it's of course. It shouldn't need to be said. No racism, right? Like, it shouldn't need to be said. Period. But regardless, whatever the trolling, the racism, wherever the lines are blurred, you just scroll past the shit.
That's a fact.
You can't amplify it and give it oxygen and then act like it's because there's such a difference between that and what actually exists. You don't go to a game and hear people saying and doing that stuff. That's just an online thing. So they've really been the ones that are almost, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because they're like, oh, I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to complain about it. I'm going to cry about it. When you're the one then now giving it the power, because otherwise, there just wasn't used to that level of exposure. It's another symptom of the exposure.
Oh, I have one last question also too. There have been some incidences where there's some things been thrown on court.
Yeah.
Do you believe that those folks that have done that should be banned from every arena in WNBA?
Well, probably just arenas, period, right? Like, you shouldn't be, I don't think a dildo should be thrown, whether it's the WNBA or the NBA or the PGA,
or NFL. NFL game too.
We should have a strong across the board, no dildo thrown.
My thing is, how do you get that into the arena anyway?
Yeah, you're in your pocket.
I don't want to know where they're putting it to get it in the arena.
I didn't say where. I said how. How you get that shit into the arena? Through security? Come on, bro.
Come on, bro. I'm like, are we serious? And it happened more than once, which threw me off. And I said, nah, we gotta hold these folks accountable and get them out of no arenas at all. You can't come back into this place. No. We gotta have some decorum, please.
I got a question before you go, Robin. I know you got to dip out. Angel Reese, is she on Chicago Sky next year? And if not, who should try to get her?
It's a coin flip. I mean, she if the same GM, like, the question is, like, what happens with the GM, I think, is the bigger question, because if he's still there, the friction is probably going to still be there. I could see it being healed if he's thrown out the door, but it's funny because, everybody was saying respect the legends. I mean, Courtney Vandersloot's also a legend, and she was one of the ones that sort of suffered the ire of Angel there. So as far as other teams, that I have to look and see who would be a really good fit, because, I mean, Angel's still a valuable player. There's no question about that. But
Liberty?
Maybe. I mean, Liberty's got a lot of size up front. You're looking at who's a team that could really use Dallas, maybe the Wings.
What, her and Paige?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they lost Satu to Phoenix, and now they need someone to replace her. The Liberty might need something because first round, Robin. I'm like, oh shit. But they lost Thornton and I forgot the other girl last year, but it just didn't. And plus, they were injured, so Brianna got hurt. John Quell was in and out.
But Najee Laney Hamilton was hurt all year.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Thornton Hamilton. Yeah, very, very vital to last year. Also, Courtney as well. But they got issues too. Like, who's the coach going to be next year? Who should be in the running? I have no idea. So they got a lot of questions to be answered for next year.
No question.
All right. 12, the company did that for exposure marketing, and it worked. Did y'all agree with Angel in regards to
He's talking about the comments she made about the sky. So two things can be true at the same time.
Mhm.
You can agree with what she said, right? Like what she said could be mostly true, that the Sky organization sucks, they need to get better, and all those things. How she did it?
She said that for real?
Story. I mean, more or less, that's what. Yeah, people.
Paraphrasing.
They'll
Paraphrase.
put
Oh,
me in and be like,
paraphrase.
You're taking the words out of.
Like, yo, y'all ain't shit, bro.
Yeah. But I did not agree with her tact. I think you don't call a teammate out by name like that and say like, we can't rely on Courtney Vandersloot to come back. She's old. Again, paraphrasing. You can't say you can't do all this and then take no personal accountability. Not say like we or I, what I did to be a part of it, and then just throw your team. You don't take that stuff out and blare it out in public. You do that stuff behind the scenes, use your power and your leverage in that way. So do I agree with some of her points? Yes. Do I agree with the way she got her point across? No.
Denny, any final ones before we get Robin Lundberg out of here?
Robin, did you see was it Cam Ward? Did you see that little clip about him basically taking accountability for the team? Did you see that clip recently?
I didn't, but good for him. Rookie number 1 pick, right?
That's what we're talking about with accountability. He didn't throw nobody under the bus. He said we stink. We need to play better. I need to play better. Everyone needs to play better. Yeah, and I think that's how we all have to learn how to take accountability. That's how you lead from the front. You feel me, Randy?
Last question, Robin. The biggest question going on in New York sports: how far do you have the New York Knicks going this season? What we got?
Well, I mean, I think the East is wide open. It's there for the taking. I'm kind of bullish on Orlando and Atlanta. I feel like they're the teams that are going to be on the come up this year. There, because I don't buy into Cleveland. They still don't have a wing player that gets it done. Obviously, Boston remains to be seen. The way Tatum is looking now, though, I wouldn't rule out him being back. Post All-Star break.
Yeah, my man looking a little, little
this
spry.
This clip, she's moving.
Yeah,
a little documentary going on, but he looks like he can go tomorrow. But I know he's
off
not.
Of Achilles, really?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
A year? I don't know if technology's like that.
Well, he got the new whatever. There's a new paper about Achilles repairs, whatever. He was like one of the case studies there. So the Pacers are going to fall off without Tyrese to a certain extent. The Bucks are always in the mix because of Giannis, but I mean the Knicks are right there for sure. But there's always those teams that come up, and to me, they're Orlando and Atlanta. Those are the teams to watch out for.
All right. Robin Lundberg on social media, Twitter, X, all that good stuff, IG, at Robin Lundberg, at Sir Denny Blanco, at Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J, CRUZ. It's in the game podcast. Go ahead, find it on SoundCloud, Spotify. Yo, 12. Are you a Mavs fan? Oh, well, you know what? You get Kyrie back. You got Cooper Flag, AD, Klay Thompson,
conversation for a
PJ
day,
Washington. Lively. All right. We'll talk more about that next time. Robin Lundberg, man, we love you. We appreciate you. I know you got to run. We thank you for coming on tonight.
You got it.
Thank you, Rob.
Oh, Evan, what we got?
Hi.
Hey, buddy. Hey, little Robin Lundberg over here.
How you doing?
You doing good, bud?
This is Rohan.
Rohan.
Hi, Rohan.
Hi.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Good.
What you up to?
Playing.
Yeah. I want you to keep
that's what
playing,
we're doing right now. We're playing.
Yeah, keep playing, buddy.
All right, buddy. Good to see you, man. All right,
Rob.
Thank you, man.
Hello.
All right. Love you. Later, Rob.
All right, buddy.
See you guys.
Later, Rob.
All right.